Let's go. I still got to get all this shit back in the spot because I can't put anything up on the walls yet. So there's still heaps of frames and shit behind me. Yeah, all this stuff behind me. It's just all stuff that is in the house, but I can't put it up on the walls for couple of days. Got all the paint set, the paint set. All right, let's go. We back. Jeez, episode 7 because I was thinking round 4. Yeah, we did opening, and I think we did one before that. So yeah, they were ticking along. We're ticking along, mate. Not ticking along the super. My round 3 was 1826. That was my score, and we'll get into a little bit later. Should have been higher. Uh, my rank was I was in the top 32%, so it could have been better. And then I was 57,000. Now I'm 48,000. So I don't know if that's good, but my season rank. So I'm 11,000 in the world. Well, 11,000 in Supercoach at the moment. Yeah, super. Yeah, you are. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Oh, these buyers, man, they've ruined everybody. Really, these type of points that you're getting is kind of just it's a bonus, really, because like I said, they ruin everyone and they ruin your structure and who you want to try to get in. Like it's tough. It's real tough. Like when we get back to just full 23, then you can really start to plan and position. Like right now we're trying to plan for top 18, and that it's hard when you don't have players in your team. So you know what I mean. No, and if you don't have players that are playing, then you'll get shown up and you'll miss out, and players will be. So yeah, these top sometimes the top 18 kind of glosses over how good people really are. You know what I mean? Well, there's plenty. There you go. Yeah, it's gonna be mine too. Hmm. Well, mate, it's pretty. His average is 134. Like it's insane. I know you almost did it. Yeah, there's no noise around him, and he's like one of the highest super coach scorers. It's unreal. Yeah, that's massive. Is it anything that you wanna get rid of, though? Are you ever fading Sheezel? I don't think so. Yeah. I don't think anybody is really, to be honest. Oh, look, given the fact you picked Sheezel, I'll go somewhere else. Uh, I'm not gonna say Sarong. He was a good that would have been a good choice because really it was his second half that kind of fucking saved him because his first half was atrocious. Like I even said to you, I was like, "Is he drunk?" And then second half, he just you know bull of the china shops, so to speak. And I think we both spoke about it, saying he can do that. So I'll leave him aside because one I want to touch on who has steadily been doing it, and I'm really happy that I jumped on him uh, super early. He was in my side from the start, and I haven't seen many people have him. Is LDU? LDU got another 124. He just week in week out at the moment. He's really playing his best footy. His average is 115. He's a massive pod for me. Nobody, at least in our leagues, I don't think anybody else has him. And at that position, he's now got up to 542,000, which is getting to that spot where you might be able to flick him for a real big primo, like your Dacos or if you don't have Bond or something like that. But at the moment, he's just at 120, getting 124, averaging 115. He's really at that position where I don't want to get rid of him. So I'm going to pick LDU. I think he's been a gun for me. He has not let me down so far, which usually means there's one coming. But for me so far, he's been exceptional. I don't even think we need to even go down the rabbit hole. Oh, mate, it's got to be Xerri. I mean, and what really? And I'll explain this to the peeps. So, so Jack and I are in a league. We're in an overall. And last week, Jack and I were first and second. Go. Well, I went into the Sunday game first. He was second, and then he gets the 199 from Xerri, who I actually made a mistake on with my captain, who was supposed to be my captain. Long story short, he gets 199 double. So he's almost 400. Jack goes top. This week, I decide not making that mistake again. I'll make him my captain. The only person in the league that made him his captain, by the way. Made him my captain, and he drops a 68. Like I don't even think he'll ever drop another 68, except for the week I dropped a captain on him. So it really pissed me off. Should have been top by some distance if I just got any captain right. Like if I pick Sarong, if I pick Sheasel, if I pick LDU, fuck, even if I picked Josh Dacos, Jackson got 108 for me. It's anybody else, I would have been fine. So he's definitely my donkey, absolute dross performance. And the problem is that I I wouldn't get rid of him, but the fact of now that he's copped a 3 week up, um, you kind of have to move him on. At least in our league, you have to move him on. There is a person that's probably the easiest shift to because he's cheaper and he's probably going to perform just as good, which is Grundy. But we'll talk about that later. But there, Xerri, absolute donkey for me. I'm going to assume he's your donkey too because I don't think anybody else let you down unless you want to go someone like. I suppose Houston's a good shout. Yeah. He's got some credit in the bank. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, well, you're right. And you know what? Do you know what the really frustrating thing is now? Is that a lot of people will be jumping to get rid of him, but now Moore's back out. So like you kind of, it's kind of like you may as well just keep him because he's probably going to get the footy a bit more now. So especially coming into this week, playing against Brisbane at the Gabba, small ground. It's going to be a fast game, back and forth. Like this is tailor made for a halfback. So like he will not get 61. He'll probably get 95. You're definitely right. There is so much stuff to do. I actually have. I'm probably gonna have to use a boost, and I still don't have. Like I've still got to make things work. Yeah. Yeah, so if he's a trade that at the moment you just have to make. I think nearly everybody's gone Parish down to Dersma, unless uh, you want to go further down, which there's some potential options there to go further down. But I think you still want to try and get his growth. Like I was reading a few forums and people say, "Oh, is it too late to get Dersma?" And I commented saying, "I'm pretty sure, I'm confident this guy goes over 400,000. So I don't think it's too late because I just think he's going to keep growing." Uh, my Voldemort is similar to yours in terms of like putting the player in and then bitching it. I actually put Finn O'Sullivan in like right. Yeah, I put him in. Um, and yeah, bitched it. Bitched it real late too in the piece. Then he gets 142. And I mean, he shut down Merritt as well. It's not bad, is it? And he's got up 37,000. He is a player that I think so. No, mate. Yeah, nothing, nothing to say. Yeah, look, I mean, and he is. We can talk about the teams a bit later on, but we're talking about Houston going down potentially. That's one of those players that makes the most sense. But we'll get into that. But yeah, that was mine because I did have a world where I actually think I got him in my flex, and I was like, oh. Nah, I bitched it because he got like 15 disposals last week and didn't have a really good game. Like got like 60, and I was like, oh yeah, the Clarko thing again. And then yeah, drops a fucking absolute belter. Yeah, yeah, you will because Roberts did it. I don't know if he got 130, but he had a good game. Yeah, I'll quickly check. So his first, so he got 142. His first week, he 85. And then second, then last week he got a, where's the green? Come on, get to it. 42. Yeah, so he's got, so that's what scared me was the 42, and I was like, maybe not. And then he just has that belter of a game. But again, I think that's ceiling. I don't think that's gonna happen again. Another one that's absolute ceiling, and I wouldn't go near it with the 10-foot poles, Luke Parker, but I've seen a few people transfer him in, and I'm like, nah, that's a stay away from that. Yeah, that is, yeah, big trap. Yeah, yeah. Josh Tracy's one of them. Yeah, big trap. Oh, it's gonna happen. Yep. Right. Yeah, well, I mean, I think it really depends on how much money you have. I know you've got a lot more of a stockpile, but you've got that stockpile because I don't think you've used that money from Petrarca, from what I can gather. So it's a bit different from your perspective. So you can go up from him, but majority of people have to go down because, like, including myself, I will have to go down uh, because there's just he hasn't grown enough. Like I only had 100,000 in the bank, and then so to go up from that, is you're not getting anybody. So the only option really there is Dersma. Now there is other options instead of Dersma. Like for example, I actually still don't have Watkins, um, because I went a different route. Like there were so many players in that position that, and I couldn't get them all in. So unfortunately, I had Carroll and Murdoch got injured, and then I had Blamirez. So I've still got those three, and I haven't got Watkins yet. He's just one of those that unfortunately I've had to miss out on. But I can still potentially get. But my point is, if you go Parish, you could go down to Dersma, which is the most obvious, which is what currently I have done. But there is a world where you could go down to Watkins because I don't think he's going to lose his position, and he's making cash, and that could facilitate even bigger trades. But I just think at the moment, to go down, that's probably the best decision. But you're probably in a position where you can go up. Well, currently he's in my midfield, but the problem is I can't get him back to my defense unless I get a DDP. So yeah, I could swim, but the thing is, I could put him in that position, yes, but then I'd still have to replace someone. Well, judging by last week's score, yeah, Coleman's an option. You're fine. I'm not. I can hear you. You're not mute. I heard you the whole time. Can you hear me? Yeah, I can hear you. Someone playing
No,
games.
well, no, we're back now. Look now, look, you'll be able to hear me now. That's a brilliant pickup from the first time chatter. How deep are we? Actually, how deep are we? That's brilliant.
I heard you the whole time though, so it can't be on mute.
No. For some reason, my OBS was on mute. Nigel Pereira comes in clutch about 18 minutes in, I reckon. That's a crack in that first 18 minutes. So you won't know who my stallion donkey Voldemorts are. But we're going to leave that in the past, all right?
Is it just yours or mine? Or me as well? It'd be me as well.
No, look, I'm looking at the system now. We can see Nigel says that's better. I'm sure it is. The comms are on. That's a crack at 18 minutes leave.
Sounded like I was talking to myself then for a long time.
Secret business going on there.
Oh, yeah, that's hilarious.
Well, back to the options for Parish.
Could you imagine if you went the whole app?
Oh, someone come in late? We're talking like an
Oh,
hour
yeah,
15.
by the way, can't hear you.
I'll be like, yeah, we'll wrap that up, eh? Anyway,
Yeah, well,
lucky we're only on segment 1. So
yeah, we're still gonna be
options for Parish. You lean to the Dersma. I am trying to figure out the Coleman situation.
Are you gonna go up and get someone like Nick?
So that's my first option for me because I am sitting on just a slight 400k, which is a bit silly in my eyes. Not Nick this week. I am looking at the Sniff Smith because he is also final team in my mind.
As pod too.
He's more of a pod than Nick, which is crazy. And again, we said at the start of the season, Sniff Smith, Bailey, no one talks about him and he can do exactly what he just did, 170. Like he just does it. Like the talk from last year, I get he was that cheap, to then just no one's thought about him this year. It's a bit bonkers. So right now I have Smith in there. Right now I have Smith as my M2. Playing around with the break evens, Dacos has a heavier break even. But
You must have a stacked midfield now.
it looks, it's nice. It's nice. Yeah, look, it was between him and Dacos. I just, Smith's a harder one to tag because they flick him to the wing as soon as he gets a tag and can still get 30 out there. Whereas I think I will be able to catch Nick just a bit cheaper because someone will get him. He is showing he's much better with the tag.
At the moment, he hasn't been properly tagged, no.
Someone will still sneak him down to an 80, 90. Like just a couple of those and I'll get him cheaper. I have to wear the big scores, which he will score. And I'm going to tip Berry goes to him because we used it against Naz, which I was pretty surprised, but I think Berry will go to him this week. I don't think
you're not jumping on Bont yet?
No. So, well, we can get into the next segment too with options for Xerri when you use flex and all that. Bond is this. Bond is an interesting one because he's 7'10". There's no other player in the league I'd justify and say you can go spend 7'10" for him. He's the only one.
The
Because
only one.
when I'm saying you can probably get Bond cheaper, I'm talking like 670, and you have to go. So what are we really doing here? Like if we're fighting over 40K does turn out to be a lot at the end of Supercoach, but right
Of course it
now
does.
it seems a little silly. It's just 710. Seven at 710, you have to have one middle week to drop. One. And he's not gonna score. The thing is he can. He can score 130 plus non-stop. He can. But yeah, I haven't gone Bond yet. Again, just I paid up last week for Gorn, and that felt like too much. It paid me back. I don't want to do it 2 weeks in a row. I don't want to pay
Yeah.
ceiling because that's ceiling price for Gorn, right? If not 20K shy of ceiling price. That's ceiling price for Bond. I don't want to pay ceiling price twice. Smith 630. I think Smith's ceiling can be 650, 660.
I'm surprised you haven't thought about Max Holmes.
So I think Holmes is more taggable. I think if you're going to tag someone at Geelong, it'll be Holmes. I think if teams go to Geelong and say we got to tag someone, they'll pick Holmes because he's playing straight mid this year.
Yeah, he's not really off half back.
And people have tried to tag Smith, and his attribute is his cardio. He'll just run you to the ground. He does not
That's
stop
true.
running. So that's why I have faded Holmes. I do like Holmes as a pick. I won't be mad if you take him. But so I've lent that way. But yeah, there's getting into the boost, looking at the boost. If I can get Coleman as well, and I was just wondering if just straight down from Parrish is Coleman an option, but Dersma is easier because he's mid. But
I don't know how you get Coleman going down from Paris unless you put Paris on the flex.
No, because I have Grills in defense. So if I take Parrish out and move Grills into the mid, the defense slot's open.
But how would you take Paris out?
On PC, so do you always trade on your phone? This is a nice little tip for people. If you do trades on your PC, press trade on a player, then go back to your team and you can substitute into the empty space.
Right.
So if you trade out a mid on your phone, you can only trade in a mid. If you're on PC, you trade out a mid, go back to your team, you can press substitute, and anyone that's got DTP mid, you can move there. Little tidbit, little tip there for the people.
That is a tip because I've been wondering for a little while how to get Grills back into defense.
Well, yeah, you would want to have to trade someone out first, and then you can put him there, but then you'll have to get a mid in.
Yeah, but I've wanted to get him back to defense for a little bit.
Well, here's where it opens up because then if there's someone in your defense you want out, you can get Dersma another way, but. Still, we want to get rid of Parrish. I feel like everyone wants to get rid of Parrish and watch them score 110 this week once we all get rid of fucking Parrish, right?
But that's why it was just like, fuck, do I want to get rid of him? And who they put? But then I'm like, they played Western Bulldogs. I don't think the guy's touching it.
And he isn't, his job security isn't 100%. It's just not. No one in that team is, besides maybe Merritt and two other people.
And the thing with Parrish this year, at least, I know he's coming off like massive injuries. He's just been like okay. He hasn't like smashed the ground running like, especially. I mean, it was a gamble. Those plethora of players in that 300,000 are always a gamble, and trying to pick the best one out of it's always difficult. Young didn't live up to it. Langford hasn't lived up to it. Reed is not a super coach player because he gives away too many free kicks, and then Parrish. So like. They're really hard to live up to. The only one that's kind of, I mean, I know he had a bad week, but the only one that's kind of really living up to it is Tanner Bruin.
Yeah,
He's
that
already
47
He's already at 314, which means his break even's probably going to be a bit high now because that 47. Well, no, it's still only 29.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
if you don't have Tanner Bruin, that's an option, but you won't make much money. But he will give you more in the future. So yeah, I don't know. I understand what you're saying. If you've got the funds, definitely go up. But for me to facilitate some other movements, I had to go down. But I mean, we'll talk a little bit more about it. I'm doing something a little bit more different this year at the moment, it might come back to bite me. So, for example, you have a stacked midfield. I could probably have the same, but I'm opting for something else currently, just because of the way things are going. But I will probably have to change that soon enough, and that will give me that sort of 500,000 ish money back.
Yeah.
But yeah, at the
Well,
moment, I've just got
yeah,
to
I feel like
roll
that's
with
going to lead into the Xerri, and there's options. But if so, with Parish, I feel like everyone is pretty much like Peters obey, easy decision. Everyone's looking at to move Parish if you have the funds to go up or go to Dersma and make money.
Yeah.
But is there anyone else? Is there anyone else where it's upgrade time? So I've got a couple. You don't have. Is Walsh already? Walsh went down in money, right? I've theorised getting Sniff Smith and Dacos both this week, right?
Well, if you can
But
facilitate that, then go ahead.
but
I would not be having Walsh over Dacos. That's my
he's averaging 104, and I feel like I just don't have to yet. I feel like that is a little silly and sideways, but I think he is touching the conversation where if he's not in your final team, which Walsh isn't in, if he's in final team thoughts, it's M8, like just getting in. Whereas Dacos and Smith are just set and forgets, like bang. But another one, Jack Carroll averaging 49. Now we just touched on how I might
he's on my bench.
get Coleman.
You got to wait for his DDP.
No, because I can
Oh, you do that.
Grills.
What you just said, yeah.
So trade Carroll, Grills to the mid, get Coleman. And the reason why I'm leaning Coleman, because some would say, well, why don't you just go Carroll to Dersma, right? Which I can do as well. So we touched on it before. Our forward line, the forward lines are horrendous, right?
You don't want to see my forward line.
No,
It's
horrendous, right? Coleman is a chance of forward DDP.
Yes.
So that's why I'm leaning Coleman, because if he's a chance of forward DDP, he passed the eye test much more last week.
I think he's just starting to get his straps. They're just starting to figure out probably also too, got just a little caveat, and I know this won't happen every week, but Zorko did get a tag. Like old fucking Ross the Boss did a double tag. Like wild. So maybe that freed up Coleman a little bit more to get the footy. So I don't know if that is an inflated score. It's hard to tell. But then again, maybe he's just getting more confident and he's figuring out positions to be in and just he's getting more comfortable with his role. So I had a moment where I took Roberts out and I put Coleman in, but then I was like, I don't know if that's Roberts is probably going to feel some more. The Redmond's out now, so he's probably going to get the ball a little bit more. But yeah, I don't know, because I can't really. I'll tell you what. So this is my six in the defense. It's Josh, Roberts, Houston, Windsor, Jakes, Sarong, and then obviously, because I put Sinclair to the bench because of the bye.
Yes.
So Sinclair would obviously be my D1. So that bottom three really is the only. Like, I don't want to get rid of any of the top three at the moment, but it could be a case of you have to. You know what I mean? Because I don't have the money you've got, so I'd have to make some decisions.
See, the reason why I want to leave Roberts and say people that have Houston as well, I feel like if you've got Roberts and Houston, they're your stepping stones up when you go up, right?
They are. Yeah.
Whereas I don't really want to come down from them. Whereas if Coleman didn't, if I didn't think Coleman was going forward, I probably wouldn't go near him. It's all this.
Yeah.
I can see him being F6 till very late in my team if he gets forward DDP. He won't get near sitting D6 till late in my team. I'll have to upgrade him way earlier in my defense. Forward line, he could be one of my last upgrades. So that's
just he just keeps ticking along.
And a lot of people have Carroll. If you hold Carroll now, you're probably going to make 20 to 30 more K in 5 more rounds. Is that kind of... The only thing is we're trading a healthy player, and right now that sounds like the dumbest thing you could possibly do.
Yeah, because right now, like, healthy players are at a premium.
But again, Parrish, how he's the healthy player. Parrish is a healthy player, and we're all trading him. So
It's just because it's not what you want to see. So like that at that price, it's just an awkward price to be dropping that amount
mm,
of the points that he's getting. So for example, you expect that from your 200,000s
mhm.
and your low, you're also sort of your real high 100,000 players, your 170. What like for example, Blamirez is doing better than him, and he's 176,000. So like,
Yep.
um,
I've fielded Blamirez out of, so I need to field one of these rookies, and Blamirez is my fielded rookie behind Jagger Smith's a rookie as well. But
yeah,
Blamirez, I wouldn't at the start of the season when I had Blamirez bench. He'd never be my M8. He's made his
no,
way to the way to the
no,
pitch.
he's there for me right
Yeah,
now. That's obviously, I maybe would have had. I see he's outscoring Sammy Grills, so like
yeah,
Grills is on the bench for me, but like I probably would have had Murdoch there because I think Murdoch would probably score more. But yeah, look, I just think Paris had to go because he's not for that price. There's so many more options you can go. If you've got more money, you can upgrade for him. If you need the cash, you go down. So
yeah,
he's that player where you either go up or down because he's probably not going to do much more than what he's got. He hasn't really dropped many 100 games, so and I don't think they're coming. Like
no,
Essendon, and if you're a Bombers fan, I'm sorry to say, but Essendon are dross, and like unless they change their manager, they just continue to be crap. So
yeah, no, they're
I
just
don't think he's
trash.
going to score. I don't think he's going to be getting belter because a big thing to Super is you can be in a shit team, but like if he one thing for the scores is like you say you belt a ball long inside 50, right? And like and then nothing happens from that. There's no mark taken or it just comes straight back out. When you're in a good side and someone bombs that ball forward and then they've got a good plethora of forwards there or even smalls that make something happen off it, that player that's kicked it forward makes points off that.
Yeah, yeah,
But because Essendon is so shit and like their forward line does nothing, he could bomb it forward
it
and then
does nothing. Yeah,
he's getting nothing from it. Does that make sense?
yeah,
So
yeah,
like it and so that's a massive concern. Sometimes you got to look at who's in front of them and who they're kicking to and what the forwards can do off it. Like yeah, so I don't know if he's ever going to score a massive amount. And another thing, he's not a massive tackler. So, like, you can kind of, sometimes you can make a justification if they're like a big tackle. Like Jack Steele, for example, doesn't get a lot of touches, but he gets almost the same amount of bloody tackles. Like I think he had like
yeah,
16
yeah,
on the
yeah,
weekend.
yeah.
So
Tackle crazy.
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you got to get off Parrish. I think. I don't think even if he drops 100 this week, I still think it's a better decision
Yeah.
here's an interesting thing. What's your projected score? Because you're very midfield heavy, but I've got something else that's in a different area that's heavy.
1806.
Yeah, see that technically my projected's more, but I feel like you've got a better squad. It's wild. Mine's 1851, but
I do have McAndrew on the bench because I loop him on, and they don't
I've
count
got
that as projected.
Yeah, McAndrew's on my bench too.
Yeah.
But so yeah, it's just strange because your midfield is far better than mine, especially with if you bring Nick in as well. So that's
Well, yeah, I feel like I'm leaning against that with the Walsh because, like we're touching on who'd upgrade now. Like Peter in the chat said, I do think at least another week. He's averaging 104.
oh, look, he's not a player that you want to jump. I
Mm,
wouldn't say that's a concern where you go, oh my God, I want to get rid of. Like he still can average some good scores. And even though Carlton, like they're playing North this weekend. So like you could see him getting 140.
yeah,
Like, you know what I
exactly.
mean? He's
Yeah,
definitely got that potential to do that. So yeah, and like Nick's playing against Brisbane, there's a chance he's going to get tagged. Like, so yeah, I can understand your end season goal to maybe have Dacos over Walsh, and that'd probably be the better
yes, yeah,
decision. But as of right now, no, there's probably no need to stretch it. Just like me with Oliver, I kept Oliver this whole time. I could have got rid of him, but like he was dropping hundreds and
yeah,
110. I mean, he got me 117 on the weekend. I've done something to get rid of him this week, but I'm not comfortable with it. I may even go
yeah,
back
yeah,
on it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like
Oh, that'll be interesting.
he may just sit on the bench because
Yeah.
I'm actually pretty happy with him. He hasn't let me down so far
No, he's doing the business, old Oliver. I'm kind of snapping. I don't have him. I did at one point in a
because he's just
draft.
filling that Tom Green role
Yeah,
and he's just facilitating the Giants midfield.
and he does look better.
Does look bad.
Couple more quick yay nays on is it time to upgrade or just like keep holding. Philippou, we're holding
Nah, hold.
Philippou. Yep,
Yeah,
holding
now
Philippou.
hold. He's not doing anything.
Butterick, we're holding, still holding. I'm pretty happy to hold Butterick still.
I don't have him. I wish I did.
Right.
I missed out on it.
Yep.
I don't think I can wiggle him in. So, but yeah, if I had him, I'd be holding.
Holding. Yeah, I think it's Sammy Grilge, but you're holding Sammy Grilge. Doveston,
For
I
now.
just don't think is going to make much money. So if you can
No, I
find a way
don't.
to flick him,
I'm with you. I can't really get rid of him. Well, I mean, I can get rid of him. I just can't do it this week.
yeah.
There is a potential to maybe do it next week. I just try and this week's a bit different with the 18, but once we get to the 23, those
Mm-hmm.
type of players are going to have to go.
Yes. Well, there's the ones to upgrade now, or
He did
possibly.
that bad. He didn't even make my 18.
Yeah, no, not mine neither. And I had a couple not play.
Yeah.
So really, it's only Parish to go now. That's the upgrade now. While we're still on the trade talk, before we get into the other ones, we'll touch on the big one, the Xerri options. So he's got 3. I'll start quickly with, is there a
What,
world you hold?
what if, okay. Yeah, that's a fair look. You can. It really just depends on where you are and sort of what your future planning is, I suppose. Like, and who you've got in your ruck. Like, so for example, if you have McAndrew and you have Xerri and then you have I don't know, and you're happy with that, then you potentially could hold. Or if you have someone in your flex, like if you have 3 ruckmen, then yeah, that there's a world where you could hold. It's only 3 weeks. We've still got one more week of the 18, so like it's not. If this was 3 weeks of top 23, maybe I'd be a little bit more concerned. But it's only 3, and one of them's going to be top 18, so you're not going to lose too much there. Because I mean, look at last week; you got 68 anyway. So there's 2 weeks really where you're going to have to front it up. So yeah, you could hold if you can make it happen and you want him. And I suppose the question is not so much if you want him; it's more like if you want him, how do you get him back in if you get
Yeah.
rid of him, right?
Yeah.
So that's what you need to think about. If you want him and you think I want Xerri in my team, you have to think about how you get him back and have an exit plan. If you can't get him back, then I'd say hold. But if you're happy to get rid of him and go sideways, which is what I've done, and I'm pretty sure you may have done, then I am going now because it's almost my excuse to go because he dropped price and that was almost enough for me to go. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm going sideways to a player that I think could score just as good and is not going to, well, for now, is not going to be impeded by anything else.
So I am leaning to the sideways trade as well. The Peter has just flagged the Ned Reeves trade, which is tantalising, but it is a big move. It's a big risky move. So if you have McAndrew at R2 still, I'd say it's too risky. If you have another premium ruck next to Xerri, like a English, like a Gorn, like a Grundy, I reckon it's a good trade to go down to Reeves. I don't think it's a bad trade at all.
But is Reeves going to play with Meek?
Well, they are. Yeah, they're sharing duties. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
But he's scoring. You're doing it to make money. You're almost doing it to.
See, this is the thing. Are you sometimes in Supercoach you wait for moments like this to make your cash, right? So you wait for moments like, and this is a moment where you go right. So there's a potential here for us to make money. Now, yeah, I don't know. I see it differently. I think sideways for me makes more sense because I'm comfortable with Grundy because that's who I would sideways to it. But it really just depends. The question you have to ask yourself is, who do you want in that position that you would get rid of him? So let's say you get rid of Xerri, and then you'd obviously have to drop him down to your flex. You bringing in the only other potential swap to get out would be Bontempelli or Nick Dacos or something like that. And I don't know if that's I don't know if that's reasonable. I can see what you mean now by Ned Reeves. His average is 94. He's played 2 games.
Yeah.
Average is 94. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
But is
Yeah.
that going to stay? And here's the thing: if you check him out, he's going to break even on -46, so he's clearly going to
Yeah.
potentially going to go up by 50K. So you could get him in, get some money, and then almost go back down. You could go even more crazy and go Steen.
Yeah, I think you need to see another week. I think you can't go too quick on Steen because what if he's just out of the team in a week?
Yeah,
You
true.
can't. Whereas Reeves, they seem to love this split. And there's a world Meek hasn't been great.
No,
There's
he
a
hasn't.
world where this bloke could go past Meek. It's so think about it like
And he plays Geelong, so like Geelong don't have a great ruckman.
so. What if Reeves? You get in Reeves now, right? You go from Xerri down to Reeves. You've made 400K there. By the time Xerri's back, Reeves is 420K.
Potentially, yeah.
But like you are spending 2 trades to make the money. Or could you? Here's the thing: there's when you look into Xerri, what his 3-round averages are going to turn into because that's 68. Once the 199's out of it, there's like I've seen graphs where the next 2 weeks, Xerri needs to score like 180s to outweigh that 68. So as soon as Sherry's back, you're not going there straight away. You're actually waiting like 2 more weeks. So my plan is to move sideways, and find and hopefully get McAndrew to him 2 weeks after he's back. That's my plan. I don't know if McAndrew's going to make me. I need McAndrew at 400K.
Problem with McAndrew is that apparently Riley O'Brien might be coming back this weekend. So.
Yeah, so it's all a bit messy there. My two sides. There is 2 sideways options which are both tantalising. You have one because you had the other bloke. So it's English and Grundy. Because English plays Essendon.
Yeah, we should destroy him.
Grundy plays West Coast.
We should both destroy him.
One of them scoring 170.
Yeah.
A sideways trade, if you can get it right. Grundy is more final team for me. If I go to Grundy, I don't have to think about it. If I go to English, I'm still like, do I want him at the end? So I am leaning Grundy pretty heavily. Like, it's funny because English is in there right now, but I'm just like, if Grundy's there, I'm comfortable. It's like a Sniff Smith. I'm just like, I don't even have to think about you for the rest of the season. And I won't use you to get to Xerri. If I want to get Xerri back, I'll find out another way.
Yeah.
So that is, and I will, the option, if you're in a head-to-head, especially head-to-head cash leagues, I'm pro hold. If you're in total points, I think it's a
because I think in head-to-head last year, I believe you did this in the head-to-head. I'm pretty sure he got out for 4 weeks and you held him, and then it was like perfect.
I held him through a final as well.
Yeah, yeah.
So he was out, and this is what. So for me, it feels like, and he won me the grand final. So I held him for 3 weeks, and then no one had him in my head-to-head. No one, and this is what you'll have if you have him in head-to-heads. This will weasel out and make him a pod. So if you hold him, when he's back, he will be a pod in your head-to-heads, and
well, this is what Petrarca's going to become.
Yeah. Well, see, his injury update got updated to 1 to 3. So
I know I didn't. I was like, "What the fuck's going on there?"
Keep the eyes peeled.
I've got to make a drastic call somewhere to try and get that back in because you need to.
well, there's your Ned Reeves. I think this is people are planning, right? People are planning about the. But the thing is, don't expect the 150 from Ned Reeves. Don't expect the ceilings that Grundy, English, or Jackson or Xerri can score. If you don't have Jackson, if you didn't go Jackson, I didn't go Jackson last week. Jackson's on our sideways. But he doesn't have both English and Grundy have matchups in the next 4 weeks. English has Geelong as well. So he has Essendon this week and Geelong in 3 weeks. So that's where I lent English. But if I'm thinking total points for the league, I think Grundy can go on runs where he scores 150s back to back to back to back.
He can. I've seen it. I've seen him do it.
So
Jackson can do stuff like that though. Like sometimes I've noticed for Jackson, I've noticed this, right? Because I've put a little bit of fucking research into him, a little bit of a study. when he plays the quote unquote teams that he should be destroying, the Richmonds, the West Coast, stuff like that, he actually doesn't really
Yeah,
perform astronomically good. It's almost like he kind of takes a piss and doesn't really care. Then when he plays a good side, he just goes off and he becomes that unicorn that everybody knows. So like he's playing Adelaide, and like there's a good chance there because McAndrew is so tall. There's a good chance he's going to be able to athletically be better than him. Like he's going to be able to get around the ground and probably outmark him in situations because he's faster and more athletic. So he can probably do better in that game. But I don't know. Like I said, you're midfield heavy, I'm ruck heavy. So I've actually got all three of them. But that's my decision at the moment.
yeah,
And we'll see how that eventuates because I don't think you can keep them all, especially with Petrarca. That's kind of my get out there because I don't have a get out at the moment to get Petrarca back. And I think that's what I did. I did that. That was kind of like, oh, okay, well, I need to get someone in. So that was the avenue I went down. But McAndrew, I don't think he's going to earn enough cash to get up anywhere close. Maybe someone like yourself with 400K sitting there, he could you could use that because McAndrew's almost 200. If he gets to 220, then yeah, you can use McAndrew to get to Petrarca, so it's not that bad. Or you can use him to get to Xerri. But for us that don't have that sort of bankroll, yeah, you're either going sideways to Grundy, sit on it, and then if you see Xerri come down, you could even make that trade, make money because there won't be that much difference between the two. I don't think long
yeah,
term. So you could almost flip them again. And yes, you're spending two trades, but you could use that money somewhere else. So yeah, I don't know. It's a really delicate one. I think if you got two really high class ruckmen like Grundy, Gorn, Grundy, English, Jackson, Gorn, whatever. If you got two primo ones and McAndrew's on the bench, I reckon you sit. Just like don't even think about it, don't worry, because there's not going to be that much points difference between the two. Just get rid of him while you can. But if you are just running McAndrew at you two, like you said, I think you hold.
yeah. Well, see, so touching on what you just said there about, say you get Grundy in, but your plan is to just go back to Xerri. I would advise Grundy and Gorn are the two rucks you don't want to use. If I'm going Grundy sideways, that is not how I'll get Xerri back. If I'm going Grundy staying, because you're not making any ground. Grundy can score like Xerri. And Gorn's the only other one that gets close to them. So it's just if you do what I have right now, if you go English, I can justify when Xerri comes back, English back to Xerri. Because Xerri will outscore English. Whereas I feel like if you could go Grundy to Xerri.
If you're judging by this year, English has been better than Grundy.
Yeah, but I need to see more. I've seen English do this 2 years ago too. I think he averaged like 125 that year, 2 years ago. But I've never seen English do what Grundy did for 10 rounds last year.
No, he doesn't have that in him, but
Yeah.
maybe as a consistent over the course of a year. I actually think English so far is playing his best year he's ever played.
Okay, yeah, yes.
Something about these new rules is definitely suiting
Yeah.
him. But yeah, look, I don't think there's any wrong. If you want to make cash, and Ned Reeves probably is a great decision, but I don't know. We're an overall league. I think that throws everything out. So
It's
you want
hard.
high scores. You want the most amount of scores as you can get consistently, and then you go with it. And I know you need to try and make cash to get others in, and that's the hardest part about it. But yeah, when you're playing an overall league, that does throw some stuff in there because I feel like I'm already doing that with McAndrew and some other players. So having another one in there is a gamble, in my opinion. But
Yeah.
yeah, look, the thing is, there's no right answer. There really isn't.
No.
It's just what you feel comfortable with doing long term.
Well, that's it. Well, we'll use Reeves to sneak into the next segment, which is the two-game tempters, which Reeves is high on the list of two-game tempters. I've got three other names here. Biggest trap for me, Lukosius. Are you
Yeah,
looking at him?
no,
So, yeah,
no,
I
I'm not
can't.
looking
I
at him.
can't do it.
Yeah, he's had a good couple of rounds, but like forwards are really hard because we've talked about this at the start of the season when we were doing our teams. Like, yeah, they can have a good round where they kick 4 or 5 goals and they might get some touches, but then they can have
Yeah.
they can have rounds where they do nothing. And So I wouldn't get sucked into that, and unless, yeah, I mean, even if you're trying to make a real cash cow, I feel like there's better options to do that than to go him. I'm not staying. I'm not going there. A lot of people are going for a couple of GWS players like
Yeah.
Gothard.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, I don't know. He's 200,000. It's an awkward price. I mean, I'm happy to keep Robertson at that stage, but Robertson is going to be banned, I think, for a week. Although
Yes.
there's nothing there on his Supercoach thing yet, so I don't know if that's gone through or not.
Well, they might be. I think they'll challenge it, and on the Lukosius rather too. Right now, with how this year is, stuff bringing another injury-prone player in, and he is high on the injury-prone list.
I mean,
So
we've already tried. I've already tried that with Marshall. Like
yeah,
Marshall's there, and I'm happy to hold because apparently it's not that long. But
yeah.
I feel like I've already done this with one poor player. I don't want to do it again.
No, exactly. Another one, just out of the blue. I'm not going there, but he my eyebrow pricked. Tim Kelly,
Yeah, he had a good round.
400. He's had two. His average is 104. He has history. 400k. He has heritage.
Yeah,
He has
yeah,
heritage.
yeah. He
We
does.
haven't seen that history for about 4 years.
No, we haven't.
It's
I
funny.
don't know if he's broken through it.
You want my little theory, right? Does he just need the people around him to get going? What if he's this bloke that he just can't play in a shit team? He just can't. He can't.
There's plenty of players like that.
He can't. He can't do it. He just can't get up for it. They're starting to kick about. And he goes, "Okay, hold on. Oh, let me kick the
Yeah,
ball with you.
and that DDP is
Uh,
very saucy.
let me have a crack."
Yeah,
So there is. I can't justify going there off two games with the last 3 years.
yeah. I
But
need to see maybe a couple, but he's an eye
but by
catcher.
that point,
Yeah, he's
by
made
that
money.
point you can't get there. So
Yeah, it's
he's
difficult, isn't it?
he's waving his wand magic to us at the moment, which is irritating me because, I and you're right. There's these players that they just cannot play for crap teams. They can't do it. They and once the team starts going good again, they're like, "Oh, I'm back. I'm back on." So
Are you thinking about Luke Traynor?
Luke Trainer is going to be one of the best halfbacks in our league in 4 or 5 years. He's just going to be unreal. Supercoach this year. What is he? 280k start.
Yeah, and he's only played one game,
Yeah,
which was last week, 102.
yeah. I'm really,
Um, yeah, it just depends if he can stay on the park and do it.
yeah. I'm chilling
Um,
out at the moment. I like him though. I think he's a jet, an absolute
yeah.
jet.
There's
Luke
another
Trainer.
option here for. I mean, the Ned Reeves seems smarter, but is Sweet getting entertained because like he's playing pretty decent, and
Yeah.
I mean he's 470, so you can come down a bit, and you're not going to really drop off the average. 107 on the average. That's
he
that's pretty serviceable
he
for
would
Ruffman.
he would be that exact thing we're talking about, where you're just looking to have someone score until Sherry's back. If you're looking for
Yeah.
someone, you just want bang, bang, and then Sherry's back, bang. If that's your strategy, Sweet's right up there for you, I think. But not on my radar when I can go to Tinglish or Grundy for me.
Yeah.
Can score 200, so history. Uh,
Yeah.
he's
It's
not to
hilarious.
200. Another two gamer, just a slight 57.5 average. Link. We're not looking at Link, are we?
No, unfortunately not. I really
No.
rate him as a player. Like
Yeah.
Supercoach aside, I think he's a fucking gun. But I can't go there just yet. I mean, he'd have to do something dramatic,
Yeah.
and I don't think Brisbane's system will allow that.
No.
Yeah,
Um,
so
well,
unfortunately not for
there
me.
wasn't that many, but I also have a list here of players that have played 3 games. Okay, these are players that
Due to go up,
well, no, they have gone
have
up,
gone up.
but
Mm.
can we still go there? So we've already heavily touched on one Dersma. He's top of my list. Now I'm going to rattle these to you, and I want to hear your snapfire judgment on if you can still go there. So Dersma's average is 90.
That's
Um,
good.
he's 270k. He went up 66k last week, but we've already talked. He's still an option, isn't he?
He's in my team now, so
Yep.
it's an option for me.
I agree. I think Dersma is an option. He's not a bad option at all. Just even if you go up, people saying Parish down. My situation with Carroll, I'm thinking about spending 100 grand to get him, and then do you know what I mean? And then
Oh, so you're thinking that way. You're
Yep.
thinking of keeping Parrish, or you want to go? Oh, you want to go Parrish for, or
Pa-
you've already gone Parrish to Smith, and then you want to go Carroll to Dersma.
yep. Parrish to Sniff
Yeah.
Smith and Carroll. I'm either going Dersma or Coleman. I haven't decided yet, but and this might include a boost with the Xerri trade. But yeah, Dersma 100% option. For the 7 people that don't have him, Robertson
I still
average is
got him.
average is 84. He's 200k. He went up 80.
Yeah,
You can't go there out of principle, but I mean, you absolutely can if you don't have him.
you still can. 200,000.
Even on his week off, bring him in.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
If you've missed the boat, and look, there's plenty around them, and sometimes you just miss them, you don't get them. Uh, but 200,000 is still so low that you could go there.
Yeah, I think I was being joking. If he is out, wait a week, but then absolutely, I think still go there.
Yeah.
We're getting a little bit tighter here. Blamires, can you still go to Blamires?
176. You look, you're probably not going to get the jump off the 99,000 like we all did
Mm-hmm.
to make that real nice chunky profit. But I don't think he's losing a spot, man. And
No.
look, what's maybe his absolute ceiling? Maybe high 200s, at the very most 300 if he keeps playing this way. Yeah, maybe he gets to maybe he gets to Dersma's spot now, that 270.
Yeah.
So you could maybe still make 100,000 on him. I think he's
Yeah.
definitely still a little bit of a cash cow. It just, again, if you didn't get him at the 99, and look, we've all been there. I didn't get Watkins at 99, so I have to eat
Yeah.
my, I've got to wear that as well if I want to get him in, which I actually want to go Carroll down to Watkins because I think Watkins will
Right.
do better. But I don't have any trades left this week so far, so I can't do that. But I've still got to. He's not gonna. I don't think he's gonna jump. Well, apparently he's predicted to jump 40-odd thousand. So we'll see.
Well,
I might.
he's on. He's a little bit further down, but Watkins is on here. So Watkins also, you can still go there for you.
Yeah, you can.
Yep.
Yeah, I think if you probably this is probably your week. And then after that, it's probably like, yeah, maybe not. But I think you can still go there right now.
What about if you didn't do the McAndrew train, right? So he's averaging 78. He's now 192. 192k, 72 rise. If you didn't go the McAndrew train, could you go Xerri down to the McAndrew?
Well, I guess I didn't really talk about it because I just assumed everybody has McAndrew, right? But let's say there is a world where people don't have McAndrew. That's probably a really good option because then that's a position where you've made what, like 500,000, and then you could go get Nick or Bont or someone. I mean, or however you want to play it. But really, you could go get the most primo player you want. So yeah, and then he will make you money even if he drops 68 weekly. That's still gonna make
Yep.
you money until he's up around 200 plus. So yes, you can do that, but again, I always like to say that if you're going down that far and you want Xerri back, I don't think that that's going to facilitate it. But
Yep.
I don't know. It just depends. If you're having him for other reasons, then yeah. If you want to use
Yep.
it, if you just want to use him as a cash cow to push to get somebody else, yeah, definitely.
What about Jake's? Average is 78, 190k, gone up 73. Still go that?
Look, if you weren't on him, I feel sorry for you. But yeah, absolutely still go there. Absolutely still go there. Tell you one that I and this is kind of it's because it's on the doggies train that you may not go there now is probably Buterick. Because
No, yep.
I don't think I can go there now
No.
because I missed that initial little bump, and I think you'd have to start dropping some really massive scores to make that worth it.
Yeah.
It's a bummer. I wish I was on it, but it is what it is.
What about we are getting to ones I think you don't, for me, you don't have to go there. I don't think you can still go there. I think Drive Sarong is on the borderline of you can't really still go there. You can. So his average is 59, 168. He made 49k. He's nowhere
Close.
near the names we've mentioned though, is he?
No,
So,
he's not.
What about this one's an interesting one. It's Cook. Say you missed Cook's first rise.
I have missed Cook, and what really frustrated me is I did put him in but took him out.
So he went up 60k.
Yeah, he's a player I want to get in somehow. Um, there is a world where maybe I go down from a particular type of midfielder, go down to him. But I would be trying to get him in. He doesn't look like he loses this spot. I think you probably got at a maximum 2 weeks to get him. And if you don't get him this week or next week, you're probably just going to have to let that go.
Yep.
But yeah, it looks like he's playing, and because Dawson's, I don't know if Dawson's still injured, but Laird's injured as well. So there seems to be opportunities at Adelaide. I mean, look at Rochelle and the game he
Yeah.
had last week. So there's midfield options there. So it looks like he's gone into it. So he might continue to grow. But yeah, I think you got 1 or 2 weeks tops before that becomes not worth it.
And what about the last one? Before we get into take one, leave one, Grills. Can you still go to Grills if you don't have him? His average is 61, 208k. He only went up 36k.
Yeah, look, he's a tough one now because it really depends who you have in your back line. I wouldn't even think about going midfielders down to him. I don't know. It would really depend on, let's say, because for example, I have Windsor, who hasn't really blown me away so far. If I didn't have Sammy Grills, I'd probably go Windsor down to that
Right.
because I think that would make sense because Windsor's kind of producing the same amount, but he's 90 more thousand, and you could just use that money somewhere else. So that's something I would do. But anything more than that, if you had 350,000 plus defenders or like Roberts or anything like that, I don't think you can make that decision now.
Yeah.
I don't.
No, I'm with you as well. I'm with you. For one of the hottest prospects, he's almost the only one we're saying you can't go to still.
No, I don't think
else.
so. Yeah, not at the moment.
Well, there you go. Now, we will get into one of my favourite little parts is where take one, leave one. Where I'm going to give you two names.
Okay.
Right? And we're talking about Supercoach wise, not player wise, Supercoach wise.
Yep.
And in the current time, right? So where the prices are right now.
Yep.
And we need one name. You keeping them. We'll start Watkins, Blamiris. Watkins over Blamiris.
Yeah, I think Watkins' growth is.
Go.
Yeah, I think Watkins. I'm really bummed I don't have him. I think he's a really tidy player, and I think that the growth will be higher. Like I just said to you before, I mean, Blamiris has started well, but like I feel like I'm going to get the best out of him soon. I don't know if this is going to stay forever. I think Watkins actually could just literally stay in that poor team.
Yeah, that's true.
Be wrong
he
here,
could be.
But I mean, he got 9 disposals in the first quarter here last week. Tailored off a bit towards the end, but he's a ready-made player. I think for Supercoach, he's cheaper at the moment too. I think he's just going to have a little bit more growth in him. That's my personal opinion. I could be wrong.
Will Brodie will lose his spot before Watkins, so he's in front of the line.
Will Brodie only just played last week, so he's already behind.
Lukosius or Lincoln McCarthy, and you have to take one.
That's real. That's harsh. That one. I don't like that because like if I'm choosing players, I'm not even going to the coaches. But we just said don't do it. But I just don't think the Supercoach suits Link, and that's only because of Brisbane and the system, and nothing to do with the player at all. So I guess it will have to be Lukosius, but I'm not happy about it.
Shy Bolton or.
Man, it was going Shy Bolton.
Keziah Pickett.
Nah. Do you know what?
Don't you say it.
No, you know who I'm going to pick because I was on him. And I've been on him. I'm taking Pickett. I'm not taking Bolton because Bolton does this, and Jack and I have been down the Bolton pathway.
That roller coaster.
Yeah, he'll drop you 150s. That's fabulous. But then he'll drop you 3 weeks of 40, and that's just who Shy Bolton is. Absolute class when he wants to be, but just that if for Supercoach, it's not consistent enough.
No.
Cozzy has had a slow start to the year, not as good as what we thought he would be in Melbourne. I think this last game against Carlton probably ignited him. He's one I'll be trying to get into my team as soon as possible.
As a forward for sure.
Absolutely.
You know, I actually thought you were leading into Bolton there. You had me scared. I thought there's
Fuck
no
no.
way.
Not a chance. Been down that
Do
path
you remember
too many
the
times.
8 he scored last year? 8.
Yep, I do. And I
8.
remember, like, you and I both looked at it and we were like, I think we had him in, but then took him out. And then he
Yep.
did that. And we are like, thank
8.
God.
Uh, we have touched on this, but I didn't really get what, if you had to pick one, who you would go. Dersma or Coleman?
That's real. That's a real good one. That's a real good one because if you asked me a week ago, I'd say Dersma. But this last week performance really changed my mind a little bit. Really changed my mind a little bit on this. And given the fact he's cheaper still, that's why it's even like, it's a real flip of the coin. Because I think that like Dersma's spot's not in contention. Plays for West Coast. He's always going to be around the foot. He's in a good position. His role is and obviously at Brisbane, Coleman's role is maybe up for grabs when everybody's back and fit. But that game on a weekend really showed that, it really showed his class of how good he is. Like, if you were to pick one player, you're taking Coleman over Dersma because Coleman's a better player than Dersma currently. It's a really, really tough pick. That I'd have to go Dersma at the moment because he's in my team. But I really want to get Coleman in my team, especially after he dropped that 100.
Yeah.
No, actually, it's not even the 100 really. It's more the fact that I saw him
The eye test past it.
Like how he used to play,
Yeah.
and I'm like, that is very, very tantalizing because Coleman pre ACL, like he's in your he was in my defense weekly.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
That's a real tough one. That's a flip.
you can see why I'm struggling with it on which one to
I'm
pick.
struggling with too. I want to get him in, but I don't think we can do it this week. I could do it next week, but then the problem is if he has a great game against Collingwood, he's going to be more expensive. So I don't know.
Again, it's in bringing Supercoach in, it's the forward. If he gets forward, it changes everything. Because Dersman's not going to get forward DDP.
No, he's not. And that's what you have to consider. Is Dersma has to sit in the midfield. He has to be a midfield player, whereas Coleman's going to get DDP, and that opens so many more doors. And so maybe Coleman is a better option then.
I did mention the week before when you asked me about it, when I said Zorko was getting picked off by Sydney non-stop. We still didn't even try Coleman. This week, once Zorko was getting tagged and picked off, he went to Coleman. Coleman started taking kickouts. Coleman started playing halfback. So that showed me that, okay, Zorko's got the role. If they've gone to homework on Zorko, he isn't afraid to pull the Coleman trigger now. And I will say, from the 3 games I've watched, every team has gone home and studied Zorko for 2 months in this offseason. They have looked at him as one of the big reasons of why we can slice through, which is fair. And they are just reading what he does. All 3 teams have studied. That's the biggest thing I've taken away from us being back-to-back. They've gone home and studied Zorko. Stop Zorko.
He generates your offense.
Yeah.
He literally generates your offense. You stop if you don't have Zorko, that fast transition footy that you play, he's literally the instigator. So, putting a stop to him is a massive key to beating Brisbane.
Yeah, I never saw him got picked off this much last year. And
now you've got 2 of them. So it's actually really clever from Fagan because you can't, like you said, you can't drop Zorko, right? But if it doesn't work and he's starting to get a player on him, you've still got Coleman in the side. You can switch it. And so that's actually genius.
And they're both trying to do the same thing, but they actually do it differently. Coleman does do it differently to Zorko. The thing is, Coleman will run with it too. He will run with it, run around a player, then pick you out in between 3 players. Where Zorko's just a fucking artist.
Yeah, he's good off the boot.
So it does.
Zorko's a player I'd like to give in my team. But
it is just different. It is a good thing to see that role isn't forbidden to him, which it looked like it was. So if they need to go there, Coleman can go. Like when I saw him take kickouts, and I was like, hold on, kickouts.
What are you doing? I'm on it.
Interested. Then saw the
Yeah.
100. Anyway, so you got to imagine you don't have this bloke this week. English or Grundy?
That's tough. If I didn't have him, I'd probably still go Grundy.
Grundy.
I know 50,000 is a lot, and I guess that kind of depends where you're at and where your money's at and how tight you are. If you need the 50 grand, go English, because I actually don't think there's that much difference in their performances and their points that they're getting this year at least. But 50 grand is a lot, like we were talking about before.
Yeah.
50 grand's a lot. So if 50 grand is what you need, and these are your only two options, I'd take English because he's got a little bit more of a fortuitous run.
Oh, yeah, his run's
But
nice.
if you're not strapped for cash and like you've already got a boat ton of cash and you don't care with how much you're left with, I'd probably take Grundy still, just because he can get you those 160s, 170s.
All right. What about Sniff Smith or Holmes?
I'm always on Smith.
Sniffer.
Yeah, I'm always on Smith. Even last year, I mean, I just like we were talking about before. I like his game. 40 touches and he's all over the ground. Holmes is great with the footy and can still really do your wonders. But again, I don't know why he's not in many teams this year, Smith. I think it was just a price point at the start. But yeah, no, I think long term for your midfield, that's the player you want to have.
I will say the only thing that you have to accept when you bring Sniff Smith in is he will have 2 laid outs a season. There will be 2 Saturdays where I open the app and he's out.
Yeah, he did this last year.
Yeah, there will be 2. Yeah. So you have to understand that. And like that'll fucking piss me off when it happens. Right? And then I hear Chris Scott tell me he had some bad sushi again. Right?
Yeah, he did it twice. I mean, first time you sort of buy it. Second time it's like, okay, bro, we know now.
Just tell us he needs a break, mate. Well,
yeah, that's it. You may as well just say it.
Just tell us Sniff Smith needs a spell, mate.
He's tired and he needs rest.
I mean, I'll still be snapping because you told me before I can make a change. Before I can even sort my emergencies out.
He never ever gives you time.
It's half an hour before the game, and it'll happen twice this year. So prepare it. If you're a Smith owner, I've already prepared myself. So yeah, but I am going Smith over Holmes as well, for reasons I said earlier as well. One you flagged last week, and it's a serious conversation. It's grown into one. Tom Stewart or Cal Wilkie?
No, bro, I know, like... Wilkie's done brilliant this year so far. I actually think he's one of the highest rated defenders, which is really crazy because St Kilda have great scoring Supercoach defenders. And maybe he's doing this more now because Nas has gone to the middle. So maybe just St Kilda are just the best spot to have primo defenders. But man, I still think Tommy Stewart's the gun there. I think we've all, myself included, just literally glossed over what this man can do. He can get you 150s on his best days. He can. And he was 500,000. And I don't know why he wasn't getting more noise. I guess he does have a little bit of an injury history with concussions and shit like that. But he's class. Yeah. I never see Tom Stewart do anything wrong.
No,
never.
Very rarely. Very rarely.
Yeah, I'm about that, but I think he's gone up in price a little bit. So
yeah, 30K. I think.
Now. Yeah,
I think Wilkie. I think they're still the same price because they both went up 30K.
Yeah. Tom Stewart.
Caleb Sarong or Andy Brayshaw? I think Brayshaw's cheaper now.
Yeah, is he?
I think he's cheaper than Sarong now because Brayshaw had that 46 round 1.
Yeah, right. This is interesting because I need to suss this because I have one of them. So they're both the same.
Yeah, the same price.
Yeah, well, so 578 for Sarong, 572 for Brayshaw. Right. So that's pretty much the same. So then it becomes a decision of who do you think is going to be better for you. I at the moment have Sarong because for whatever reason those first couple of rounds, like you said, Brayshaw was playing dunce. But Sarong gets tagged more.
Yep.
He gets tagged more, and Sarong can drop your 60s. And I was I went through it. I got him in after the
Yeah.
150, dropped to 60, but then he gets 135. So Sarong is very up and down, up and down. When you have him, it's great. When he does a bad week, it's crap. Although I would say Brayshaw's maybe a bit more consistent. However, he had a bad game on the weekend. So I'd probably go Sarong, just because I think Sarong's got a little bit high ceiling. But you would have to go through his crap games.
Yeah, but it's funny as well because the rule changes favour Brayshaw
They do.
over Sarong. You would think Brayshaw's going to be. I think Brayshaw will snap back. Don't know if it'll be anytime soon.
Look,
but
class is personified. I don't think he's going to say shit forever. And look, again, that's a one to watch. If he gets anywhere near the realms of 500.
yeah, you have to go Brayshaw. Yeah.
My God, am I getting Brayshaw?
Yeah, no. And that's a keep him for the rest of the year if he gets there too.
You don't even move off that.
Yeah, no, he is on the watch list.
That's a Matt Rouse sneak. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Brownlow at 440k, that kind of business. Last one, McAndrew or Reeves?
I still think McAndrew. I understand. I understand Reeves had 2 belter games. Don't get me wrong, but he's starting off higher, so he's got to have to play better to continue to grow. Whereas McAndrew started so low that he doesn't have to have massive games in order to get you that growth. The only thing that kind of scares me now is the Riley O'Brien talk. I almost think that, and this is completely left. I have not heard anything concrete about this. It's just a gut feeling. But I almost think that maybe these first few rounds was all right, let's see what you got, and then give Riley O'Brien a bit of a kick up the arse, so to speak, and then maybe rejuvenate him. I could be wrong on that, but because McAndrew hasn't exactly blown it out of the water in the last couple games, and I just wonder if maybe they've started to see his deficiencies. Like, he's actually not very good forward at the ball. Doesn't really impact on the scoreboard, stuff like that. He's good. He's good at a header because he's 200 plus centimeters. He's huge. So that would be my only scare. But for right now, I'd go McAndrew. But if I see Riley O'Brien in a side, then I'm taking Reeves because I don't know how McAndrew plays with 2. I know what Reeves plays like with 2. I don't know what McAndrew plays like with 2.
Yeah, that is a worry. I will be keeping my eyes peeled for that ins and outs.
If he gets in, I'm going down to a 99k.
Of course, he's.
You know what I mean? Like,
it's scary.
It is scary.
Well, there's our take one, leave ones. Well, now we'll finish on our shower thoughts.
Okay.
Well, give me your shower thought first. You came with one rocked and prepared.
I had a shower thought. I was in the shower thinking about this, and I was like, you know how they on the grand final day they do the 100-meter sprint, or 50-meter, whatever it is, the grand final sprint, right? And you have all the teams. I was like, I wonder who would win the grand final, the sprint, if it was a sprint full of all the media analysts. So, like, you got Caro in there. She's rocking up in lane 1. Then you got Tom Morris. Then you got McClure. You got Edmund. You got a bit of Barrett in there. And then you can whack in. And then you can throw in some old boys in there. You can throw Kane Corns in there. You got Kingy in there.
Corns would probably be favourite, wouldn't he?
Corns would have to be the favourite. He's probably rocking it at $1. $1 but who knows?
Daisy Thomas turned the clock back.
Montagna, he can throw it in there.
Old Waitley.
Bartel, can Bartel run? Waitley, that's what I mean. He's on the racing.
I think Corns would have to be
I would
favourite.
love to see. Imagine if Caro just burst out the gate. She's just got a bit of pace in her.
That's a funny one.
The old hag, but yeah, I thought, and I just envisioned it in my brain, all of them standing up there, and then just the gun goes and off they go.
You know where I thought you were going with that, which I think would be even equally funnier? If we did the 100-meter sprint at grand final day, but it's just every team's ruckman.
Oh, mate, could you imagine?
We need to extend half time. We need a longer break.
How's Grabelski going on that?
Oh, not great. Not great, I'll tell you.
He's not moving.
My shower thought to end it, it came, I thought we'd give a little bit of appreciation, and it is due to the game on the weekend, to the utilities of the game. And my question, I was like, who is the best utility in the game? Is it Jared Berry? Now, I'll give you a couple more that I think are utilities. I still think
Yeah.
Callum Mills is a utility.
Yeah.
Connor
Still.
Nash is a utility at Hawthorn.
You think he's a utility?
Nash, I think Nash is a bit of a. I don't. His scope isn't as wide. I think Berry and Mills have the widest utility scope, probably,
Yeah, for what they can do.
probably in the league. You got Willem Drew's a bit of a utility, but I don't think he's as good as Mills or Berry.
No, I wouldn't put him in that category.
Perryman's the same as Drew. He's a utility, but he's not. You've got
Not yet.
a funny. I think he's going to be a great player, but he's a funny Jinby because he's a monster.
Yeah.
He can play ruck. He can play mid. He can play half. He can play key back. I'm telling you, I'm a fan of Ruben Jimby because he can do anything.
I still think, and I know those players that you said are great. I still think the best utility. But then again, he is upper echelon elite at two things, but not at anything else. So, for example, Berry could play midfield. He can tag. He could probably float forward and do a job. Mills could play defense and midfield, and then that's about it, really. He can't really do much other than that. But I'd say the most elite version of that has to be Heaney. He's a midfielder that can get you. If he played solid midfield, he's getting you 30. But then he can play forward and get you 5 and 20.
If we are including,
He's the elite version.
Yep.
But he doesn't do anything outside of that scope. So, like, I don't see Heaney doing a tag. I don't see Heaney playing defensive role. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Whereas these guys can do the whole facet of the game. So that in essence means utility because you can use them in all different ways. I'm trying to think if the Pies have one at the moment. Not, I don't think we really do have
it'd have to be Perryman. That's
It
what
would have to be Perryman, but I'd say before Perryman, our best utility was Hoskin-Elliott because he could play.
Yes, that's
like
exactly.
And then he could play full forward. But yeah, they are a dying breed, and I don't know if the game is killing it.
Yep. Well, you got to say
Jackson?
we talked about
Maybe
Foss.
Jackson's a good utility.
It looks like Clarkson's trying to use Foss as a utility.
Yes,
That's what he's trying to grow him into. Whereas he's got an offensive side, but he wants him to do a season of tagging. I just thought it was interesting because they never get talked about utilities. Like even Mills. Mills, I think for a long time was the best utility that didn't get. I don't think he is anymore. I think if we're bringing in the offensive, Heaney. I think Berry and Mills are probably the most accurate. If you were like aliens came down and said, show us what a utility in the AFL is, you're picking Berry or Mills. I think that is what it means to be a utility.
Manor could probably do the same.
Manor, yeah.
No, maybe not as high level, but he can tag. He can play
Atkins.
off half back.
Atkins is a utility.
Atkins is a utility. So there is a few in each team. I'm trying to think through like those top teams. If the Dogs have one.
Durham would probably come under utility.
Yeah, he'd come under that. He's not bad. He's not. His tagging sort of died off a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe at the moment is Libba becoming a utility?
Yeah. Look, maybe he's been he could be. He could come under that bracket for most of his career, I almost think, even though he was.
Yeah.
He honestly could come under that bracket.
He'd be getting a DDP surely soon, wouldn't he? Is he playing defense, half back?
Yeah, he could be. Yeah. Well, is he back from his injury?
Oh, is he injured?
Wasn't he injured?
I'm not sure.
Because they have to play 3. So this is the thing with Murdoch, right? Murdoch, if he plays one more game,
you can still go to him.
If
You've got to get to him before.
If he plays one more game before round 6, he will get forward status. If he doesn't play before round 6, we have to wait to round 12. Painful.
Ooh.
Painful.
Yeah, Libba's still out. Hamstring. Averaging 105 though, so he was doing all right.
He was up and about. But there you go. That is the round stable. Episode 7 in the bank.
Episode 7. Now, question, because we're already at Tuesday, so in terms of team reveals, because I will be at the game on Thursday at the Gabba. I will be there.
Mhm.
in the crowd. So we'll see what happens. Are we? And I know there's a little bit of time before then, but should we just run through our team quickly? Uh, because I don't think I'm going to be able to get my team out to the public.
Oh, I'll
Uh,
save mine for tomorrow because I haven't finished it yet. But give us
you,
yours.
you you can save yours. Well, technically speaking, I haven't finished mine either. But this is what I got at the moment. So at the moment,
Hmm.
and I have to run through the trades, which is the problem. I can't. I have to have a look at my if I undid it. So yeah, I'll talk about my trades. So back line of Josh Dacos, Roberts, Houston, Windsor, Jakes, Sarong. Bench is Sinclair, Lindsay. Sinclair only because of the bye. So defense unchanged for me. I would like to make some changes. Coleman is a good one, but I don't think I could do that just yet. Midfield. This is one that is interesting. Bontempelli.
A big one.
I've
Big
got
boys
I've
in.
gone Bont. I've gone Bont. Uh, Butters, Sarong, LDU, Tanner Bruin, Dersma, Jagger Smith, Ramirez. That's my midfield currently on the bench. Sammy Grills, Carroll, Murdoch. So to facilitate Bont, I got rid of Oliver. But again,
That's,
I'm not comfortable with that. I'm actually as crazy as this sounds with Bontempelli and how good he is, and we know he's never going to let you down really. I actually am thinking about undoing that. And you guys might think I'm silly for that, but yeah,
that's an
I just
interesting
think
one.
yeah, I think Oliver's still got ground to make, and I'm not quite happy with it. It was more of a if I could do it, let's just put him in there type thing.
Yep.
But I've still got 2 days to reverse that, and the way I'm feeling, I may. But the problem is with Bont. Just before I move on, is that I did this once at the start of the year, and
Yeah, he
he's
won't
not
let you
letting me.
back in.
So there's a potential I just hold that. My rucks, Grundy, Jackson. That's my two. McAndrew on the bench. I think Grundy, the sideways movement from Xerri, that
Yep.
was my trade. And I'm comfortable with that. Forwards, just absolute dross. Wouldn't be that much different from
Horrendous.
anybody else's. Sheasel, Flanders, Robertson, Philippou, Doveston, Lombard. Bench.
It's nasty, eh?
Yeah, oh, bro, it sucks. Honestly, it really needs work. And to be honest, the quicker Petrarca comes back, the better. Um, Bench, Marshall, and Kalani White. My flex is actually Tim English. So I've got
Yep.
three there, but the Tim English is only there. Well, it was actually Jackson. That he's only there because Petrarca isn't. So when Petrarca comes back, I will run back to the two Primo Rux and McAndrew goes back to
Yep.
the flex. But because Petrarca's out, I wanted a big score, so I went another Ruckman. But
Yep.
I could have put Nick there easily or Sniff Smith. But yeah, that's my team at the moment. The biggest one for me is Bond, particularly given his price. And like you said, it's 50. He probably could drop 50K, but then I don't know. But
Yeah.
we'll see. That it's a hefty price to pay, especially if he doesn't return it. And do you know what's funny? The first game's against Essendon, and when you don't play against a team that's really pushing you, sometimes you can just take your foot off the gas.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't
Yeah.
be I wouldn't be surprised if he drops 20 and just gets one goal and drops a 90 this week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Oh, but then, yeah, he could drop. He could go nanas. It's just
but he could go nanas. But that's the thing. So that's my team. It's not final yet. I did this last week. I changed it right before lockout because
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
what I do pretty much all the time because I change my mind. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So
Well, see,
that's what I'm rocking with for now.
our defense and forward lines aren't that dissimilar, but our mids actually are very dissimilar, like are different. So I'll just give you my midfield right now, just to close out with you. I have Butters M1, Sniff Smith M2, Noah Anderson M3, Ed Richards M4, Sam Walsh M5, Tanner Bruin M6, Jagger Smith M7, Blamirez M8.
Yeah, so you got that extra.
It's just one
Uh,
more. It's
yeah,
one
you've
more
got that
deep.
extra midfield of that because you don't have the ruck. So I've
Yep.
gone three rucks. You've gone five midfields. So like
Yep. This is
that's the
just,
difference. That is the only difference
yep.
there. And it's just depending on what you want to do. And there's no really right or wrong. because they can all drop 100 plus, right? So
Yeah.
there isn't anything wrong with that. I just went English. I just went Ruckman because I liked the draw.
Yeah,
I
but
looked
still,
at the
yeah.
players that
Their jaws are
that
good.
they had, and I thought that maybe they could produce a little bit better than the mids. But look, sometimes midfielders, especially Walsh and stuff like that, sometimes they're better when they play against harder teams.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's no right or wrong, but with this top 18, it kind of is tit for tat anyway. There's no real you're not really gaining anything there. But when it gets to 23 in these next couple of
Yeah.
weeks, yeah,
We're going to have to tighten it down.
that's where we're gonna have to tighten it. So we have to make a decision there of where we want to. Like for example, the forwards just have to be upgraded. They just
Yeah.
have to.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I will start to work on that at the moment. That'll be my next big thing. So we'll see. But yeah, see we go.
We'll see how we go. Well, we will see you next week for episode 8 of the Round
Absolutely.
Stable. And yeah,
We're getting there.
we
We're
are.
getting there.
And we'll catch you in the next one.
Hopefully Jack's mic's not off.
Yeah. Look, first 20 minutes want to be sharpened up.
All
See you.
good. All right. Adios. Man, how good.